Are you sure you want to live in Houston, Texas? In this video, I'm going to discuss 10 reasons why you actually should move here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Living in Houston, Texas channel. If you're new to this channel, it's all about what it's really like to live in Houston, Texas. The up, down, left, and right. What it's like to eat, sleep, play, and everything in between. If you're not new here, welcome back. Guys, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. It helps everyone else looking for this type of information to easily find it. Also, hit the subscribe button. That way you're notified every time I upload a new video just like this on this channel. So first, let me set the stage, guys. I am a native Houstonian. I have lived in Houston, Texas for over 30 years. So if anybody that knows the good, the bad, and the ugly about Houston, Texas, it is your girl, right? So let's jump into it. The first reason why you don't want to live in Houston, Texas, guys, is the extreme summers. Guys, it gets hot in Houston, Texas. In the summertime, we can get up into the triple digits with the humidity rate of up to 90%. Guys, it's muggy here. Like, you cannot go outside literally in the summertime. You cannot go outside without sweating. I know when you go to places like Las Vegas and things like that, I visited those places. So it's hot there, but because it's not so humid, you're just hot, right? You're not sweating, your hair isn't falling down or anything like that. Here, it's humid. It gets hot and muggy. You will get sweaty if you go outside in the summertime, guys. So really, you really want to limit your outdoor activities in the daytime. Most of the time, by now, native Houstonians, we know during the peak hours of the summer days, don't go out. Don't plan any outdoor activities, right? I mean, like I said, I'm a native Houstonian, guys, and really, I have never gotten comfortable with the Houston heat. It does get hot here. So if you're not a person that likes heat, likes humidity, this is not a place for you. So guys, second reason why you don't want to move to Houston, Texas, honestly, is the high property taxes. We, as a state, we don't have income tax. So you do get to keep more of your money that you make from your jobs in your pocket. However, we really do make it up in state income tax. So compared to the national average, we are higher than most when it comes down to state income tax. So if you live in the city, like closer to the inner city, your tax rate will range from 2.4 to 2.8. So let me tell you guys how this works. So when every city around or every area around Houston, even including the suburbs, has their own tax rate. Now, how they determine what you pay in taxes every year is they take that tax rate and they multiply it by the value of your home, and that is your yearly property tax rate. Now, I mean property tax amount. So if you have a mortgage payment, more than likely your tax dollars, your tax amount, your yearly tax amount will be factored into your monthly mortgage payment. So your estimated amount of taxes for the year, your mortgage company will take that number and divide it by 12 and then include that into your monthly mortgage payment. So in Houston, people have substantially higher mortgage payments compared to the nation or, you know, other cities around the nation because your taxes are factored into your monthly mortgage payment. So like I said, again, in the city limits, inside the city, closer inside the city, the tax rate ranges from about 2.4 to 2.8%. But in the suburbs, you typically see anywhere from 3.0 to 3.8%. So guys, again, that's a substantial amount of money that's factored into your mortgage payment. So reason number 3, why you don't want to move to Houston, guys, we do experience hurricanes and flooding. We are on the coastline, so I'd say every 5 to 7 years or so, we do experience some type of torrential storm. So the most active hurricane season is going to be midsummer to late fall. So the last major hurricane we had was Hurricane Harvey, guys. Hurricane Harvey literally dumped rain on the Houston area for a 2-day period. The good thing is, though, we really didn't experience a lot of torrential wind. Like none of the houses were really blown away, but there was substantial flooding, right? We really got to keep those things in mind. Now, let me say this, guys. There are more areas in Houston that do not flood than that do flood, but because we are on flatland, flooding is prevalent here. Because we are next to the coast, also hurricanes can be prevalent as well. Now, me and my family, if we know there's a big storm coming, what we typically do, honestly, is leave the city. We do evacuate. We go to Dallas, Texas most of the time and hang out there and ride the storm out. Because when a hurricane comes, Houstonians, we can be without power for up to a 2-week period. And so because, you know, hurricane season is really active in the summertime, It's hot here, guys, so being without power, electricity, AC for up to 2 weeks, that can be a little uncomfortable. So we just typically will go, evacuate, stay with friends, stay with family, stay in a hotel or something like that. But I encourage you guys, especially if you have small children, it's best to just get out of town. That way you know that wherever you're gonna go, you're safe, you have access to AC, you have access to food, water, the major necessities and things like that, whatever you need to live. Now, one thing I will say also, guys, Houstonians, we are always Houston strong. We do recover, guys. We do recover, so these things do happen. So I strongly advise everyone living in Houston, Texas to get flood insurance, along with, some parts of the outskirts of Houston, they make you also get what we call windstorm insurance, but you do need some type of storm protective insurance because it is likely that a storm will happen here and it could possibly impact you. So guys, the number 4 reason why you don't want to live here is the freaking traffic, guys. So according to a study that was released by a geolocation technology company called TomTom, it says Houston drivers have wasted literally 46 hours per year in traffic. It is congested here. It is a lot of traffic that really does honestly get on your nerves and is annoying. High peak traffic times are typically from 6 to 8 a.m., then again 4 to 6 p.m. So when you're planning out your day and your commute, you really want to consider the traffic, guys. It is something we do have to deal with. And like I said, it is annoying and a little bit of a heartache. Either get up extra early or stay extra late if you're trying to avoid the traffic, but it's really prevalent here. Sometimes we even see traffic on the weekends, which is crazy to me, but it's very common to see traffic on a Saturday at midday. Now that could be too because of construction and things like that, but traffic is a bit of a heartburn here in Houston. Now, a car is a must in Houston, Texas. We have long commutes. It's a big city, right? And honestly, we have a lack of adequate transportation, public transportation across the greater Houston area. You mostly see the public transportation be prevalent inside the city. So if you especially live in the suburbs, you have to have a car. Houston is definitely not a walkable city at all. If you want to get somewhere, more than likely, if you want to get somewhere within a reasonable time frame, you're gonna need a car. Like I said, again, especially if you live in the suburbs, public transportation is not prevalent in the suburbs. It's very minimal in the suburbs. So if you want to get to your normal necessities, grocery stores and things like that, malls, shopping and dining, you can't walk in the suburbs. So you definitely need a car. I would say on average, guys, again, Houston is a big city. I've been in the car driving from North Houston to South Houston and literally been in the car for 60 minutes. So, whereas if you're some other places, other states, you can 60 minutes, you can drive to a couple of cities. In Houston, not so much. You definitely need a car to get around. So if a car is not your thing, you want one of those walkable cities, don't come to Houston. Okay, next reason, guys, you don't want to live in Houston is we have no zoning laws. And let me kind of explain what that means. So this mostly affects people living inside or closer to the city, right? Houston has no zoning laws. So basically commercial and residential properties can be built anywhere. Some other cities have it to where like, hey, you can only build commercial in this section. You can only build residential homes in this section. So they're not colliding. But in Houston, you can build them anywhere. So let's think about that. What does that really mean? Would you really buy a home that's located to a major business? You have business traffic day in and day out. It could be noisy, especially like if you're buying a home next to like a car dealership, where they keep the lights on all night and things like that. These are things that you definitely have to think about because it is a possibility. Now, again, it's more prevalent inside the city, more so inside the suburbs. They don't necessarily have zoning laws, but they do kind of follow like some rhyme or reason to where you don't have like a major commercial building like a grocery store or something that backs up to a home. But guys, again, that's prevalent in Houston. We don't have any zoning laws. People can build what they want, wherever they want. The next reason why you don't want to live in Houston is the mosquitoes and the bugs, guys. Okay, because it's so hot and humid in Houston, there sometimes can be an influx of mosquitoes and bugs, especially in the summertime because, things like mosquitoes, they thrive in these humid climates. Again, it's not just the heat that's the major factor here. It's the humidity. And guys, honestly, these bugs freaking drive me crazy. You have to have some type of insect repellent that you're putting on a regular in the summertime. When it's cool outside, you really don't have to worry about the bugs and mosquitoes and all of that good stuff. But in the summertime, like in those hot, humid months, be prepared to be attacked by an influx of mosquitoes. And you got to think about this. Make sure you put it on your children in the morning time before they go to school and things like that. But outside, number one, it's already hot and humid. So to just get attacked by bugs and mosquitoes, just add that extra layer of I don't like it here. But just keep that in mind, guys. Bugs and mosquitoes are prevalent, especially in those summer months. Now, my next reason, guys, it's really more of a personal thing that I've seen. I really don't have a lot of statistics on it, but in my opinion, I feel like the cost of cable and internet is pretty high here. And I'm just gonna give you tangibles to what I pay every month for cable and internet service. So I live in a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. We do have a TV in all of the major areas, cable box in all of the major areas, and the bedrooms. So for cable and internet every month, I pay like $250. In my opinion, that is a lot for cable and internet service. So I do have all of the major channels and things like that, the Stars, HBO, Showtime. My husband is a TV guy, so we watch a lot of TV. In addition to all the things that we stream like Netflix, Hulu, and all of that stuff. But you know, just kind of listening to my friends from other states say what they pay for cable, my cable bill is much higher. So I'm just gonna go on a whim here and say one of the reasons why I don't like living in Houston is because the cable cost and internet cost, your data cost, is more expensive compared to other cities. Okay, another reason why you wouldn't want to live in Houston is the lack of public transportation, guys. Public transportation in Houston is mostly prevalent inside the city, so close to that downtown. We call it the inner city. So there's 3 main forms of public transportation. One, we have the Metro Rail, and this is a train system that's really only local to the inner city again, and the major attractions like you'll see. It'll take you downtown, it'll take you to like the museum district, it'll take you to all the major sports arenas and things like that, but it's really kind of localized just to those specific areas. Also, we have the bus. Now, most of the Metro bus stops are also mainly in the inner city. And lastly, we have the park and ride. So the park and ride is designed for people that live in the suburbs, but they commute downtown to work. So with that being said, you know, transportation is very localized to the inner city, and you can really only take advantage of it if you live close to downtown, inside the loops and things like that. So, you know, honestly, living in the suburbs, it is not an option to not have a vehicle. I don't know anybody that lives in the suburbs in Houston or greater Houston area that does not have a vehicle. You just really adequately cannot get around north, south, east, and west without a vehicle, whether that's a car, motorcycle. Of course, bikes and things like that won't work. We're just too large for that. So keep that in mind. If you're not a car person, you know, if car isn't your thing, you're really gonna be very limited to living close inside the city, or, you know, not purchasing in Houston at all because you have to have a car. So the very last reason that you really don't want to live in Houston, guys, is the influx of toll roads. So not only do we make you have a car here, we also make you pay to get around most of the city. So toll roads aren't prevalent closer inside the city area, you know, in the inner area, but they are very prevalent if you're driving from suburb to suburb, from one side of town and things like that. So let me tell you guys what toll roads are. So toll roads are those extra highways and things like that that are a necessity to Houston, but they're not funded by the government. They're actually funded by the toll road authority. So basically, if you want to drive on those things, it costs you. And not only does it cost you to drive on it, it costs you every time you reach a certain point. So in Houston, we have this thing called the Easy Tag. So what most people do is that you get a sticker that you put on your windshield so that you can just drive through, and you set up an account and basically it auto debits your account. These toll roads, if you're going through major toll roads, you can expect about $1, $1.25, $1.50 per stop. We typically see them, like I said, again, more so on the outer skirts of Houston, so definitely not in the inner city. But as if you start driving out to the suburbs, you're more than likely gonna need an Easy Tag / a toll tag, but they are everywhere, guys. There's no way to avoid them. So when you're coming to Houston, if you still wanna come here after we've gone through all of this, make sure you get you a toll tag. The toll police are very serious. They do not play. They will use your license plate to identify who you are, slap a bill in the mail, and they expect you to pay it, guys. So just keep that in mind. It's gonna cost you not only with a vehicle and gas, but it's also gonna cost you toll expenses to drive around this huge city. So again, guys, my name is Nicole Handy. I'm the team leader of the Nicole Handy real estate team here in Houston. And look, we get so many people reaching out to us about their move to Houston, Texas. They're either texting us, calling us, sending us an email, but no matter how they reach out to us, we absolutely love it. You can do the same thing too. So whether you want to send us a text, send us an email, give us a call, or skip all of that and just go ahead and schedule an appointment using the calendar link down below in the description. We'd love to help you with your move to Houston.